Welcome back to the Rain Brings Growth podcast. We're here with American Ryan. What's going on, dude?
Thank you. We're at the Ryan Growth podcast as well. Thanks for having me on, man. It's I don't know. Usually we just spend all day at the gym talking, so now we can record something that nobody wants to hear.
Yeah,
especially my wife.
Yeah.
I was gonna say probably the shorter the better, but let's see dude, now I'm doing it. So that's it. This is it. Welcome to the podcast where we don't say a single word and we can't get a single word out. Thank you. Follow up.
Yeah, it feels weird talking to you. You're not in sandals, so.
No, I'm not in flip-flops. I brush my teeth. I'm slightly, I am showered fully, but I don't know what a half full shower is, but yeah, no, usually it's early morning, pre-workout, running behind, smelling some type of body odor, and yeah, that's just my prime.
Gray hoodie, gym shorts, sandals.
Well, gray hoodie key. That's the only time I'm working. Well, yeah, and you just steal it from Rocky too, because whenever it's like, I feel like as soon as I got back, like you have a kid, right? Yeah. And then like I Peter Panned for 35 years and like just snowboard, biked, everything I wanted to do, traveling salesman. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, you have that kid and you're like, oh, it kind of clicks that initial drive back where you're like, man, I really want to show my kid the value of hard work. And then I looked at myself and I looked at kind of how good of a fall off I did. Like it was, I think when I started like selling more like tracks and turf and, but yeah, dude, I totally dropped the ball physically. You'd always work out, but the diet's the hardest part. So yeah.
Yeah, especially being on the road, and then you got to have like dinners with clients and stuff, and then they want you to go and have fun with them.
Oh yeah, and the best thing you can do is like Diet Cokes, because you could like if you have a Diet Coke in a cocktail glass, that's the secret weapon. Because yeah, you do on the road. People want to like you're being everybody's friend, and it's fun. Like especially if you have a quality product with sales, like your stuff is good. So you just want to make sure that at the end of the day, if your product is, even if you're equal, like, and I feel like whatever I sell is slightly better than the competition's, the customer service part is going to be the key. And I think if you're not selling people garbage, it's really easy to actually have full relationships. And a lot of my clients, they end up turning into some of my closest friends. So like, William, love you, buddy. Like, yeah, James. So this, yeah, William's like a bud, but we came in, I think like 10, 11 years ago, or no, I think I've known him for 10 years, but he was the first guy that signed an agreement for Fraud Crush. And that just, it started out as a job, but yeah, I think you always just want to be friendly. That's a whole way around to get back to like the question that I started answering 7 minutes ago. And then my wife got in my head, dude. She's like, there's a lot of times where you just start saying stuff and I don't know what you're talking about because you just start it. And I think it's a little bit of the ADD, but I'm like, oh yeah. And now I'm talking and now I'm really monitoring myself. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. I don't remember the last time Matt said anything, and I'm just going. And I've gone over 17 years of my life in 42 seconds, and I'm like, I don't think any of that made sense. Like,
I just rewatched my podcast that I was on for the Wild Chaos, and I was like, oh man, I'm so bad at. I'll start telling a story, and then I'll veer off and tell their story, but I'll come back and I'll tell that one. Yeah, but it's like I can't just tell through. It was like,
yeah, you gotta go for the full ride, like. You can go from A to B, but why don't we go from like A to L, M, N, O, V, R, S, T, U, and then ultimately just forget about B because I forgot whatever I started talking about. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, dude. I think when you can just talk to people and it just is a bunch of nonsense, but it like, you guys have a good time. I think that's the key to conversation.
Yeah.
Because that one quote, like, nobody remembers what you say. They remember what you make them feel. So I am talking so much. I ran out of breath. That's this. Oh man.
Is this your first podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm your first.
Yeah.
In the dungeon. I'm here first in the dungeon.
Yes. Welcome to the dungeon. I mean, I've given like presentations and done trade shows and all that stuff, but then, right as you're walking out, you're like, oh, I could, this is one of those things you could say something horrible and just ruin your life. So right now, say all the bad words.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Matt's getting canceled.
It's not live, so I never run live. Well, I have run live, but if I know that I'm going to have a good time, I'm not going to run live.
Right, yeah. It's like that podcast ended up being 7 minutes long. Why? I don't know. So
yeah. It was recorded for 3 hours, but we edited everything out that we couldn't say.
Yeah. Well, if we went that long, it'd be 2.5 hours of Star Wars, and then I'd really have to reconsider my life. But I'm not going to.
So your name's Ryan Widdison. I just introduced you as American Ryan, but
yeah.
Ryan, where are you from?
Born in Cedar City, Utah, land of the people. So, and then my dad was in college. Then we bounced over to Portland till I was like 7 or 8. Then we came over here. So, I mean, I've been in Idaho for we're about 30 years strong. 29 years of Idaho. So it's really the state like I know the most. I mean, I love it here. I absolutely love Idaho. Not really. It's terrible. If you're considering moving here, do not. This place is horrible. We worship potatoes. Nothing good. Idaho sucks.
It's terrible.
Promise.
Just make a U-turn.
Yeah, just Montana. Wait, hold on. I want to go to Montana one day. South Dakota.
Canada's pretty sweet.
Canada is awesome.
Yeah.
Canada's way sweet. Canada is the best place ever. I would just keep going up there and keep our property rates, somewhat doable down here.
Yeah. There's Mexico, and then we have New Mexico, and Canada's the newest Mexico.
Yeah, Brazil too. That would be, if anybody's considering moving to Idaho.
You're pond hopping there.
Yeah, that would be, just Brazil is sweet. Bon dia, obrigado. Brazil's pretty cool.
I've been to Tucanos. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Dude, man, I love Tucanos. My dad loves Tucanos. And then I had like the ultimate Tucanos like in Brazil, and I went back and like, oh man, like,
yeah,
did I just ruin one of my favorite restaurants by going to the mecca of this? And probably, yes, I did. 100%.
It's like falling in love with Mexican food here and then going to actual Mexico, and you're like, oh gosh,
yeah,
this sucks.
That's it's always like it's like once you know about it. That's why I don't want to fly first class, and it's not because I can't afford it, because I cannot afford first class either. But it's like once you do it, are you gonna have that level where you're like, yes, please, Grey Poupon, I need this.
Yeah.
I need a hot towel before we fly off, which would be awesome. I love Grey Poupon and hot towels. But yeah, once you do that, like everything I've done is so scrappy and just like duct tape service. I feel like even with my fraud stuff, like Fraud Crush, now that I know what the industry charges for stuff, like I am the cheapest dude out there. I do really good work, but I'm like,
yeah, that's what you're telling me.
Cheapest dude out there by far.
When you're telling me how much they wanted you to charge, and you're like,
yeah,
I thought I was overcharging as it was.
Yeah, well, because it's like it's blue collar stuff. Like I always have had some type of blue collar job, and then through some weird wormhole with bodybuilding.com, like I was able to get into the fraud and risk world. And then it was just like, oh, I'm actually good at this. Like I can do construction, I can whatever. But like with this was the first like niche thing that I could attack and actually be like, oh, like this could be something where I don't have to carry 50, 60 pound bags of rubber on a running track all day. because it's not that fun. I promise you, it's not that fun. But then again, Canada is great if you're considering Idaho. I just want to go back to that point. Canada.
Yeah.
Alaska, maybe. Just
it's like New Idaho.
Yeah, where do I not want to move to eventually?
Canada.
Yeah, Canada would be one of them. Just because I can't.
You like guns.
I can't do grizzlies. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna go up to Whistler and no, I don't even want to mention grizzlies, dude. They're in case there's a bunch of grizzlies that listen to your podcast. I'm gonna go up to Canada. I'm like, oh, we heard you talking foul of our species. You don't like that we, black bears run away, but we just decide to maul and eat you. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, bear, but no.
I never realized how big grizzlies bears are.
Oh, dude.
They're fucking huge.
They are so, yeah, like, they have one, I think it's in the Anchorage airport, like, or maybe not. I think you might be there's Kodiak Island. That's probably where it is because it's a smaller airport.
Kodiak's got its own subset of grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, that's named perfectly. Hey, where do you want to not go? Now that I'm thinking about this, my dad took me there as a kid, and it's like, that is wild. Like, I don't know if I can get my wife to let me take my son to an island that's just like, what's it known for? Like, massive bears.
Yeah.
Massive, mean bears. But no, they have one. See, all the way around to the fact that they have a mannequin bear or a taxidermy bear in the airport, which a mannequin bear, that just sounds terrifying. Just coming soon to JCPenney. We're outfitting all the grizzly bears. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what this podcast is supposed to be about. I think it's supposed to be about business, and now we have grizzlies in JCPenney's. And you know what? JCPenney's is going to do well because grizzly bears can't use the internet, and that's why they're going to go to JCPenney. So,
well, I found Ryan. He's just homeless.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a crazy guy.
Very close. No, you say that and people are like, man, Ryan, he is a homeless, crazy guy.
Yeah.
Like, wait, he doesn't brush his teeth every morning and he's always smelling. Like, dude, now that you say that, there are a lot of things that sound fairly homeless about me. But, grizzly bears, Canada.
So where'd you start? When did you start working? In high school or?
So
like always been kind of side hustling or?
Yeah, well, so my dad would, he had an office and I had like terrible allergies, this is where I started learning just to like deal with stuff. So every summer I'd get to stay in a fence, go do random like office maintenance around his property. And then I'd probably work for, 3 to 4 hours, take my, I think it was probably something, like $5 an hour or something. Like, but when I think it was 12.
Yeah.
Dude, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was balling. And then, things are definitely a lot different because at that point, I guess I was about teenager, right? And I would go at like lunchtime, I would grab like whatever cash I'd owe. I'm like, pay up, Dad. Like, I got to buy some bear spray. This podcast is going to be heavily influenced by grizzly bears. But I would take lunch and then I would go to there's 3 pawn shops around. So I'd go and I would buy a DVD and then I would always try to get them to sell me like a PG-13 or R-rated movie because my mom had a very strict, zero tolerance. I came home and my Wayne's World DVD was smashed in half and then thrown in the garbage. So that was Mom, it made it more fun. I'm sorry when you're like, this is terrible. I was like,
yeah, see what you can get away with.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, everything. I loved it. But yeah, I would just try to hustle and I'd be like, hey man. So I'd buy Mission Impossible 2 for $4. It probably wasn't even that back then. Or maybe it was because DVDs were still cool. They're still cool to me, but that's why I'm a grandpa.
DVDs are these things you watch movies on back in the day.
Digital video discs. Yeah. And then we're going to go into 45 minutes about VHS and how grizzly bears are mad because they can't put VHS tapes in a VHS player. That's why they maul people.
Yeah, this is like some water boy type shit.
I know. Well, Mama said
They're so angry because they got all them claws and can't hit the buttons on the VCR.
Right, dude, they just countless VHS companies were built because every time a grizzly bear would order a VHS player, it just kept breaking it, so it had to redo it. So VHS players were like, "Hey, this is the business to be in." I don't know how these grizzly bears are getting all this money to continually buy VHS players, but it's happening, and we just got to embrace it. Initially, in the stories of or in the history of stories I'm making up as I go, that was like what led to the 1980 stock crash, which I'm pretty sure we had a stock crash back then, but also the Great Depression. Somehow they got back there too. They're buying outdated corn mashers, and things kept breaking the corn mashers too. So grizzly bears kind of have some similar problems throughout the years. But yeah, that's why they're so angry, I'm guessing. Like, we just have to pray that grizzly bears and alligators never come together, because then we're all just hosed. Like,
so you bought these $4 movies.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'd go to a different pawn shop and I'd be, "Hey, mister, I've got this. Can I trade for that?" And then when I look back at it, the guys are probably like, "I hate this kid every time." Like, they're dealing with people bringing in rings and trying to, like, actually make money. And then I'm 90 now that, in hindsight, pretty sure they're like, "I'll take the deal if you just get out of my shop, please."
Yeah.
I can't. Where are your parents? What are you doing? And I was like, "Please, sir, I need one more copy of Mission Impossible 2, or else, I can't go to a scout camp or something," which was, a complete fake story I just made up there. But, I don't know. I probably just annoyed them so bad. But thank you, pawn shop guys. I know all your shops are closed now, but I know it's because of those grizzly bears.
Did your parents let you watch Harry Potter?
Yeah. So we were Harry Potter people for sure. Well, I don't know. Harry Potter people is a little strong. That's the only book series I read. So
it was like 50-50 when I lived in Utah, whether the parents let them watch Harry Potter or not.
Well, magic, you never know.
Yeah.
I swear, if grizzly bears ever get on the magic, they're like,
your next merch line needs to have a grizzly bear somewhere on it.
That's everything I got is now grizzly bears. I'm cashing out every small crypto investment.
I feel like you're just sponsored by grizzly bears, so you just have to keep mentioning it. It's a part of his contract. He has to mention grizzly bear at least 69 times.
Let me drink my grizzly energy drink. Oh, it's made up specifically of the insides of Chinook salmon.
This one's for polar bears,
right? Yeah, the polar bears too. Those ones are even more of some jerks. They'll just kill you for fun, just eat you in front of your friend. You're screaming and like, oh gosh.
Did you see that picture? There's this dude in a tent, him and his buddy, and there's just a dead polar bear's head. They had like looked in their tent in the middle of the night and they just shot it. Big old freaking.
Oh, that's the only.
Bear.
Yeah, it was either that or they were gonna be a snack.
Yeah,
because that's just.
He was gonna finger paint them with their blood.
Oh yeah,
snow.
And just the amount of power. Like, you think about it, like if you were to get crushed by a car, like I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to generate that same force, and then they're gonna bite you, and that's. Like, dude, if you get bit by anybody, a human bite is like, bro, like that hurts. And then a match just complete evisceration of anything you like hold dear in your life is just gone. Like your arm just chomped off. I don't know how. I'm pretty sure this is a business podcast, but today it's the Business and Bears podcast.
It's not a business podcast. This podcast is just about people going through stuff and coming out better on the other side.
Oh. Way off target right now.
I mean, like I've talked to you before. You've had some pretty cool stories, so I'm sure we'll get around to it.
Well, I think you gotta have a sense of humor, especially if you're gonna chase anything, dude. Because like, I just think that when like things start like piling up on you, if you can't laugh at it, it's just, what are you gonna do? Like, if I was a person that was like, oh, all this stuff is falling apart on me and this is looking really tough, like I couldn't do anything. Like, literally, it just, you have to laugh at things. Like, even yesterday, I'm a grown man. I've ran out of diesel twice this year because I've just procrastinated for some reason. And I'm like, I like this game of like, oh, let's see if I can coast in. It gets stupid. It's really just stupid. But even then, when you're like, oh man, I'm on fumes. This is now you get adrenaline from driving around the city. I love driving, but like you get that bump of like, ooh, like I gotta make it. Like I have to make it. And
Yeah.
I think that's with a lot of things in life. Like, oh, excuse me. Bear energy drink may cause burps during podcasts at all times. Um, but yeah, I think really digging in and like laughing at yourself, that's gonna be one thing. I mean, I think it's so important to be able to like, I don't know, dude, life's so tragic and painful as it is. Like there is like a gallows humor that I think people need to have. And like you gotta just like be able to embrace and enjoy kind of, you know, a little bit of suffering. It sucks. Like, but then I think like would life be as entertaining if things were taken care of? Like if you had that silver spoon and you never had to work for anything, you always had the nicest car, you had always had that, like what do you have to really drive and push you? Because I think what really makes a lot of humans tick is that drive for something better. Like
The pursuit.
yeah, like
Yeah.
and that's like I think um I think hitting your goals is one of the worst things you can do because you need to have tiered goals because it's like I've hit my round of goals I wanted to do when I was 25. Like there's some things that I haven't hit and that'd be like that next tier, but it's as soon as you hit those goals, you get that emptiness feeling. Like as soon as it's over, you're like, what's next? Like
Mhm.
the show, like the contest I just did, I knew I was like pushing the clock a lot. Like,
Oh, your bodybuilding show?
yeah, should not have done. See, Carly, you're right. I do say stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. And yes, we're here. And by the way, bears again. Dude, there needs to be go through and do a bear mention count.
Bear counter.
Yeah. By the way, if I do have a second son, you already know what his name is. Sorry, Carly. I'm overriding this one. It's Bear.
Was that like the Alaskan bush people? They have a kid named Bear.
I don't know, but if they do, I'm copying you guys. But that kid was also sponsored by Grizzly Bears. I don't know how they sponsor babies, but they got into that. Bears are heavy into VHS and sponsoring kids for their Coca-Cola advertisements.
Best thing about naming your kid Bear is it's good for boy and girl.
Right. Yeah. That's the best thing about being a husband is just saying whatever you want to the doctors, because that's the same thing. Like I would walk in there and be like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm a little hungry.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gassy. That's for sure. And then Carly's just like, why do I even bring you? But then there's that because you go from why did I even bring you to you don't go, and then there's going to be consequences, and then you do go and there's going to be consequences.
There's no pleasing them.
So it's just like, yep, we're gonna get in here and we're gonna have some fun, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no one ever talks about how shitty it is that we have to sleep on those cots or those mattresses.
I'm
They
bringing.
say it's all bad for them, but
Oh yeah,
you guys are the ones getting meals served to you in bed.
I don't. Well, it's funny too. The first like the delivery portion, like 2 nights of that was like I had the good bed, right? And that's like Jerry Springer. They'd always bring him in a limo and then send him home in a cab. They're like, "Welcome, you can sleep here now." And I'm like, "This isn't that bad." Carly wouldn't let me watch any TV in there, which I'm pretty much an iPad baby at 37 years old, but yeah, that second night, like I think we delivered at like 1:32 a.m. And then I was like, sweet, I can take a nap. Nope, right up to the chair. And then it's just like, I mean, the first time you have a kid, like every little sound or anything, you're just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like, is he okay? Because he came out looking rough. He was Conehead City. Like his head, like he looked like a little alien, and it was all like hematomaed and purple and like bruised. Like the pictures of me, like right after he was born, is a picture of a guy looking at a baby that's like, did we just like stillborn right now? Or like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Like this looks really rough. And then Carly's just like, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm just like, what is going on? Like this, like, oh, and then that's just your life from then on. You're like, oh, responsibility. How have I avoided you for so long? Um, but yeah, no, I think it's really good. And back to grizzly bears, but that's it.
It's funny because when my son was born, I was standing up by my wife, and she's like facing this way, and the TV's like right above him, and the doctors are over here, and we're just all watching UFC, and she's in the middle of pushing. We're watching UFC.
Get into it, honey.
Yeah.
This is it. See it.
They're
gonna knock
honey,
him
it's
out.
the prelims. Quiet down.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I know they say most babies are cute, but Wyatt wasn't a cute baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? She's like, he just wasn't a cute baby. I love him, but I looked at him and I was like, oh gosh, hopefully you grow into this face.
Right. See, that's
Yeah, he had a cone too, dude. They had to like screw into his head because he had such a fat head and it did not want to pop out.
Jeez.
They ended up having to like cut the whatever, so her butt and her hole was just like one hole. I was like, gosh dang, dog.
Oh.
So much for a daddy stitch. That's like an extra 10 stitches, homie.
in that case, you probably can enjoy the chair a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mine didn't have to get like ninjutsu cut like that. Like, oh,
But
my
they
gosh.
kept screwing it into my son's head to like pull him out,
Oh,
and it
jeez.
kept coming off. So they had to screw it again, and yeah, he came out. It was like a freaking cone.
See that's why grizzly bears started that C-section service years ago. But then they eat a couple babies, and people don't want to go there. After
You win
that
some,
one.
you lose
That's
some.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly the baby eating, but that's what tore that business apart. Like grizzly bears are just terrible, surgeons. But
So what was your first job then out of high school?
well, I mean, I had a ton of jobs in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was.
Well, we got like 30 minutes into a VCR tape, so
Right, yeah.
Sure.
Well, I'm getting big money from Grizzly Inc. Let me tell you that. This whole thing is just sponsored by Grizzly Bears, and so yeah. Let me see. What was my first like paycheck job? So I worked did random stuff for like my friend's construction or my dad's friend's construction companies. Just all that $5, go move hay, go demolish stuff. Basically, just like all the super grunt work that people just kind of pay you. So you're there, you're doing something productive, and you're also not really paid at all. So, but Boise Ranch, that was the golf course I used to work at. The first one I did, I think I made it 3 or 4 months, and then I kind of got into a little kerfluffle with one of the guys at work, and then I hit a drive off the putting green. So I was promptly fired for that one. And then let me see here. I was working at Golden Corral too. I just hated it. I mean, it like one of my really good friends was working there, and it was like that was okay, but then ski season rolled around. It was like the first time I had my driver's license. And as soon as I got my driver's license, it was to the mountains. It just, I quit every team sport. I didn't care. I was going to go to Bogus Basin with my friends. Like that was the best. And I remember them trying to schedule me for like a Saturday. There's a couple jobs where I quit because of this. But like it started snowing a lot on Friday, and I was not going to go to work. Like I just like, there's like that invincibility when you're a teenager living in your mom's basement and mom and dad's basement. Still, if I lose my Grizzly sponsorship, mom and dad, I'm coming back home. But yeah, just every chance to like experience something, I would leap on. And it's definitely cost me a lot of money over the years. But I think when I look back at it, and I just had to give a presentation, and I was, evaluating kind of all the stuff I've done recreationally. No regrets. Like Carly and I had like a 5-year honeymoon where it was just us and our dogs, and like we would go and we'd just go to Tahoe for like 7 days and just hang out and have fun and go explore mountains. And it always like, obviously you should be financially responsible. I have not been, but there's just times like there's this guy that works at Winco, and Carly talked to him, like the meat counter guy. I have all these plans. Me and my wife and I have all these plans to go travel, and we plan to do all this stuff, and we plan to do that. And then one day, about a year before that retirement, his wife had passed. So he'd been gone. She saw him, and oh, my wife passed, and I've taken some time off, and like that's just the thing. We'd like to believe we've got 75 years, but it's not guaranteed. And I think I think you should sacrifice a lot in your 20s. And that's, I mean, it's come to the cost of like, I don't see my friends like I'd like to. And, people that I love and would consider brothers, like I'll see them once or twice a year, and that sucks. But it's, hold on. Oh, that Grizzly shake, bro. And back to grizzly bears. But yeah, no, I think when you've got youth, you've got, like in your 20s, you have a lot of time, you have no money. In your 30s, you start to get a balance of that, or you should. And then I think right now I'm going into another 5 years where it's just going to be a lot of ultra hard work. But, from when I signed my first big, like, fraud Chris contract it was 2018, and it's still been running. It's just like, okay, I've got enough to enjoy life and to do these things. And, I have right now, like, and things change, knock on wood, but like being healthy and having a body you can do physical activities. I think there's a lot, like I think you kind of, if you have the ability to, you kind of need to, because you go out to these Spartan races, you go out to anything, and you see people show up with these disabilities and struggles that you can't even touch. Like complaining about running, and then imagining running into, like, walking into somebody in a wheelchair. And it's like, you know what? This stuff does kind of suck. But if I were to lose this, I would lose a lot of who I am. And I think if you are blessed with the ability to be physically active, you should be. Because if you don't take care of that, you're going to lose it. I mean, I probably ride at a much higher level than I should at my age. I'm not X Games. I'm not pro. I'm far from pro. But I can, I'm fluent in riding, whether it's biking or snowboarding. And I think doing it and not giving it up is why I can still do it nowadays. So, yeah, I think when you're on a podcast and you start going and you're like 7 minutes later, I still haven't hit the point. That's where we're at.
I think it's pretty good. I don't remember what got us to that point, but where were you? Oh, you got your first job at.
That's where we were at. We went to the first job, and I went philosophical about how you should use your body because you can.
No,
that's
true,
what it is. Holy cow! Yes, and I am gonna apologize to my grizzly overlords. Not enough mentions of grizzly bears on this podcast, but yeah, no. So basically, I got to the point where you do all these weird jobs. You have like, you grow and grow and grow. And then my 30s were like, oh, I've hit my goals that I hit, like financially and all these things. I'm going to enjoy the time. Like I set up my life to where I could work 4 hours a day, really. I mean, 7 days a week, but 4 hours a day doing highly niche specialization work. And then once I got all that work done, I can just go to the mountains. I can be by myself. Like I turned my notifications off on my phone for like a decade, and it was awesome. And I just turn them on, and I'm already missing being just cut off from the world a little bit.
I just downloaded an app that my buddy told me about. It's called Opal. It costs like $100 for a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like 2 days into it, and I guess just the first day was yesterday, but on the weekends I don't have any restrictions for the weekends besides sleeping. I'm trying to keep it on off between like 10 at night and 6 in the morning because otherwise I'm so bad, dude. I'll get up in the middle of the night and just check my phone.
Yeah.
So at least I won't push anything for any of those social apps or YouTube. Even I had to add YouTube yesterday because I was like, oh, I blocked TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but I didn't block YouTube. So then I just was on YouTube. I was like, you put this whole thing on here for you, and then you just went around the system.
Yeah. No.
So I was like, all right, I'm adding YouTube too.
No, I totally did. So they do your like recap, and they're like, you're in the top 3%. Because I always have like a podcast or something stupid, mainly stupid stuff, not educational, mainly stupid stuff is like constantly running in the background. Because I'll have like my work set up, and then I'll have like a screen over here that just pumps in sounds, so I don't feel the crushing grip of remote isolation, right? And yeah, it's like I've spent more time like listening to stuff than 97% of people on the planet. Okay, I need to get out of my office, and I need to like that's that's one of the things where I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna need to start like getting a little bit more out there before I just turn into Gollum at some point. Like, forget the sun. I'll get all scrawny. I'll start talking to myself. I'll have a ring that I'm obsessed with. It won't turn me invisible, but I'll just like, yes, my precious. I don't know why it sounds like Jeremy Irons on that one, but yeah, it's back to that first job 30 minutes ago. But
when did you actually get like your first real-time job then?
I think it was bodybuilding.com. So I did a bunch of personal training. I sold luxuries during the recession, and that sucked, man. I really remember like
Selling luxuries was
like so personal training isn't something that you're just gonna like when like so it was the '08 recession, and I was selling personal training, and then those were the hardest rejections. So I learned, I think I'm good at sales because I really ran the gambit of all the worst sales jobs you can do. Like, but there was one person in particular where it's like she wanted to learn, or she like I know she would have done it, but I was working for a corporate gym, and they're not gonna just give people free personal training, right? Like it's a business. And that's before like YouTube, like before all the information's readily available, and BBCom was like a huge, like that's where I started learning stuff. So I didn't even know it was in Boise, Idaho at the time. But I remember this one sales pitch really vividly, and she just said, I wish I could, but I can't afford. We're gonna lose our house. And obviously when you're trying to keep your house, you're not gonna spend whatever it is. Like you're not gonna spend $50 to work out with a 19-year-old who's like doesn't like at that point I didn't really understand a lot of the diet. And I mean I still don't. Like I have like Big John's my coach for a reason because I know a lot, but then I just need someone to like structure it and be smarter than me. And in this world, it's, I mean, I've mentioned grizzly bears 300 times on this episode. You can tell they're like, I could put a lot of hard work in, but there's a lot of people that are smarter than me. And that's one thing that I kind of always just like remember is there's like the reason why I got up back on stage was because I had somebody running everything I need to eat, everything I need to do, and then just taking my brain out of it. But goodness, I jump around, huh? But anyways, yeah, that was that sales pitch where she like couldn't afford personal training. She wanted to do it. That was it for me. I couldn't do that. That was too, it was like gut wrenching where you've got somebody that would really benefit and would be really ready to go. But you can't. That's when I applied to bodybuilding.com. Jesse Norris at the gym years ago, like I still owe him a lot because this one job like led to my entire career. But yeah, I gotta go to a company where I could literally sit and talk fitness and advice and do it for free, and then even give out free supplements. So it wasn't, we need to pull all the money in. We need all this. We need to like fill it up and do the like, oh gosh, what's his name? Oh, the one duck that jumps in the vault of gold and swims around. It's not DuckTales.
Yeah, Scrooge McDuck, right?
Scrooge McDuck. Yeah, like Um, but yeah, it was just cool because you were in this environment where you could really just help people. Like that's why it was so good, is because we know our product's gonna sell. We know people want these products, but if we help them and they maximize and they have these big, like, people losing weight, it changes their lives. Like, you've lost a bunch of weight. Like, I've seen it happen. One of these new guys I'm working with has lost like half his body weight, and it's really just, I mean, insanely impressive to see people take control of things that, they didn't think they could control. And I think that's why bodybuilding.com was just amazing to work for, because we were doing something that was very special, and we had a very good reason for doing it. And it was, I mean, way fun, and people were awesome too. But
Yeah, I remember going to that place. I had a job where I had to go and check on water coolers, and they had a water cooler there. It was like down off of State Street or something, right?
yep, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we had the, yeah, that was a cool building too. I think it's since been like, I think they're down to like one level of it. But yeah, man, the old school BBCom corporate be on top, customer service on this little half. You'd have the BBCom gym and like that big kitchen, the backyard, and then the basement was just like engineering, IT. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I got to work there probably. I missed like the obviously like the earliest days, like the first, I can't remember when they started. Um, but like I think I got there for the peak. Like I think I was there while we were growing, still at the old buildings, and then got to be there, and I like it was just special, dude. There's nothing to say about it. It's like that type of company. You get really lucky to work at a place like that once in your career, and if you get it twice, it's probably, enjoy it, because special things like that are special for a reason. They're not everywhere.
Were you competing in bodybuilding at that time when you were working there?
Yeah, I did my first competition the Saturday before I started on Monday. So I was prepping for a show. It's Night of Champions. I still want to win that stupid show, Rubik's. I want that show.
Is that Seattle or which one's that one?
No, that one's Spokane.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's what I meant to say. Was
yeah, yeah.
Spokane, yeah.
So that one's in a casino. So it's cool. Like, you'll be all prepped out and you'll be like dying and dehydrated and covered in fake tan, and then you just walk around, and it's like, everybody's grandma's like smoking cigarettes and just plugging money into the casino, and just, yeah, it was that's probably one of my favorite shows. uh but yeah, I think I took like second that night, and then I started, so it was like perfect timing to start at bodybuilding.com. Like, I literally still have the fake tan on. And I think I did 10 shows in the 3 or 4 years that I was there. Yeah, I think that's about right. But it was sweet, man. I was just like going to college, reviewing orders, and then bodybuilding. Like, I mean, skipping leg day because Grizzlies don't like to do squats. But
They only have legs.
yeah,
That's all they got.
they don't. They're like, why do I need a squat when I already do this every day when I eat you? I'm not gonna be like, oh, can you squat 405? Just gonna. Now I'm wondering how much a Grizzly can squat. But
Were you always like into bodybuilding or fitness, or is that something you just picked up later on?
so I would have said no a little bit ago, but I just saw a picture of me when I was like 6, standing with doing a double biflex. Like, so yeah, I think always, well, and like the movies we grew up on, dude, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
True,
And
yeah.
like, I mean, how could you not want to look like your heroes? And I mean, like Spawn and all the comic books I was reading, like everybody's jacked. So it's like, why, like if I could look like that, like why wouldn't I? I mean, I don't, but you can get a lot closer than if you just don't do anything. So yeah, I think the movies were like a big thing, because I mean, Idaho, there's not a ton of stuff to, especially if you can't drive. Like when you're a kid and you cannot drive and you're just gonna be at your house, like what is there to do? You go outside, you can skate around a little bit, but then you're gonna spend a lot of time watching movies with your friends, and that's like Like I love movies so much. Like, yeah, probably an unhealthy amount, but those are the ones that you kind of take inspiration from. Like from the various thespian arts, you take your inspirations, and you know, I'm pretty sure most of the screenplays were written by grizzly bears, but I cannot confirm. So
So what did you do after you left bodybuilding? Did you go into the fraud then, or the tracks?
So I was already in the fraud at BBCom, doing order review, and I
So you're just
had,
doing like two things at once then, or what?
yeah,
It
and
was
that's
like
kind
a
of where probably messed up, was doing too many things. But like, I'm super ADD. If you haven't figured that one out after this, you know, it's probably pretty apparent that it's hard for me to stay settled in one spot. Like the fact that I'm still sitting here and haven't shifted too much is amazing. But anyways, back to the grizzly bears. So I was doing fraud. Let me see. Then no, so I got laid off, and then I was like, okay, I have a year left of college, and I decided to go back because my mom had to drop out of college when she had me. So I was like, okay, mom, I'm gonna get this degree because you had to sacrifice for it. Haven't used it at all, and but it was honestly, I will do a ridiculous amount of work just for my family. So um I went back. I was a janitor for the last year. I made my money. Like I had had a good job. Been flown to Vegas, been at these conferences, and then I found myself as a janitor finishing up school, and I had no money. Like it was, when I look back on it, it was probably one of my favorite times ever. Man, like you have $5 and you're like, okay, I have to have at least $2 for gas, and then I can get a $1.25 Snickers, and then I've got an energy drink in the fridge, and that's gonna be today. And then we'll figure out tomorrow. So I would be doing all these like little, like I walked dogs with Wag, that app, like literally everything I could do just to like put some money in the account and basically just survive while I wrapped up school, finished school, and then I remember I was like cleaning up a ton of goose crap from this driveway. And I was working at this really nice development, really nice. Like, and I am literally chasing geese around, cleaning up geese crap all the time with a college degree. And so I'd asked my dad for this guy's number. I call him, I say, hey man, I need a job. And he goes, hey, do you want to go to LA for 3 weeks? And I'm literally sitting here like covered in poop. I'm like, yeah, that sounds better than this. So went out, we built East LA College's track. And that's like the Forrest Gump track. It's a track that Bane blows up in Dark Knight Rises. Like it was cool, but you basically just get in the truck and you're gonna be on the road for a while. Um, and that's where the track started. So we would just go all summer into fall. Winters would be off. But then I think that next like, oh no, so funny timing now that I'm thinking about it. So I was building tracks, and then I finally was like, man, let me help build the company. Like I've already failed in my own company, so let me try to build yours. Like let's see what I can learn here.
what was your company?
It's Radbots is the
Oh,
yeah, we'll get back to that one.
yeah.
But it's that was like that's the only thing that's really like my chip on the shoulder is like I need to go back and do, like now that I'm older and I've got a little bit more experience and I'm not as stupid. I'm probably more stupid, but I'm a little more wise. But
More experience points.
yeah, way more experience points. Like my like the first business plan I had for Radbots was like I looked at it recently and I go, oh, this is why people are like, what is this? Because it made no sense. Like it was just an intellectual vomit of stupidity. And that was my business plan. So I was building tracks, and then um the first time I went out to do like a track sale on my own, went to Salt Lake. I also had a referral from one of my mentors in the fraud world, and they go, "Hey man, this company really needs some help. They can't afford me, but I'm pretty sure they can afford you. And I say, yes, they can, because I need any money. And I charge like $2,500 to solve like a multi-million-dollar problem. I think they owed him more. They owed him more on the finder's fee than what they paid me. So it's like, oh, but that same weekend, or I literally left that company. I finished up my little job there, and then I went and sold my first track. So that's where Fraud Crush and like the track sales started. And it was on the same weekend. But then after that, it was like 5-6 years where we're like the small track company going up against these big guys. So I'd always say, you've got your Coors Light, you've got your Bud Light. Like, we're the microbrewery that you can call. Like, you can come sit, you can ask us whatever. Like, we'll do the small dirty jobs. And I'd go to all these towns and cities that big companies weren't going to go to. It wasn't big enough project, whatever. I would clean up on those. And then we'd get those small towns around bigger cities, get into the bigger cities and grow it. So we had, I mean, it was great for 5-6 years. And I was on a handshake ownership deal. You guys know where this one's going. But when it was time, when it was time to really like put up, kind of fell apart there. So I had basically built a company for 5-6 years with a guy that I once considered like a second dad. And then I got the real good realization of like, you know what? This is not going how it was sold to me. And it just kind of, I think, started 2024, closed a $6 million deal for the company, tripled my like required thing, and then just like spent that year, sold some more stuff or sold some more tracks, had my fraud stuff, but that was like the pregnancy year. So Carly was just making me like redo our house. Like if she could have had me like pick up the house and move it 20 yards and then move it back just because she wanted me to. It's called nesting, and welcome to hell. But
what's some of your craziest stories of being a salesman on the road?
Oh, there's a lot. Road sales is like a perfect job to be like, you can be the worst version of yourself. So like when you're on the road, everything's on the road. But yeah, I mean, we had like union people that would want to fight us because we were paying this union and not that union. So like you'd also have like basically there's a lot of people that are just like stone cold drunks and crazy drug addicts. But we had an individual that signed up, went, worked, and then we did. I don't know how it got brought up, but his background got brought up, and this was where we started doing background checks. So this guy, he apparently goes to a drug dealer's house one day, and he's like, "Let me get some drugs." And then he noticed there's a dead body, and the drug dealer's like, "Hey, buddy, you're gonna help me get rid of this, or I'm gonna kill you too." I think it was like a drug overdose or something. I don't know, and this was years before. But this guy was like, "Okay, we're going to do this. I got a good idea." So they go to a storage unit and he puts his credit card on the thing. And then like a few weeks later, like the owners notice a smell because yeah. And then they just, whose credit card is this? So they arrested him for like, aiding I don't know, but it was like
accessory to a murder.
Yeah.
Or something?
Like, I don't think it was like accessory, but I'm like, this guy was working for us for like 4 months, and this whole time, like, you didn't even bring that up in the job. Like, I feel like you should probably bring that one up in the job interview. It's like,
yeah,
by the way,
shows that you're willing to work and go outside of what you need to do.
Yeah, if I need to come up with creative solutions, I'm obviously not the guy to ask, but I'll think of something.
Yeah, tell us about a time where you had to go outside of your realm and figure it out. And he's like, "Well, I actually took initiative and got a credit card and hit a body." So
let me tell you, next time I won't use my credit card. So I'm learning. Like,
I'll use
that's
a debit
lesson.
card.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't think that's the lesson we're going for.
I don't want to accrue interest.
Yeah. That's interest, but yeah.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
No interest next time.
And then he's been arrested again with a high interest credit card. Grizzly Express. Get it.
Did you ever have any times where you felt like you weren't safe or in a good spot when you were traveling? Like you're like, oh shit, I know we shouldn't be in this part of the town.
So many times. Like there was one night, so I was in Salt Lake City. My grandparents had their 80th anniversary, which is nuts. I mean, just to be together first, like I'm very jealous of them.
80th anniversary being married.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Old. But
I was thinking like birthday or something.
No, they're I think 96, 94 right now. But I was there and the thing wrapped up at like 3. So I had to go from Salt Lake to Tri-Cities, Washington. I had a trade show starting at 7 a.m. I left at 3. I think it's like 10, 11 hour drive. I start getting there and I start calling hotels and I'm like, everything's booked up. So I find this little motel, like 1 out of 5 stars.
Trap City.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I get there and it's like, you don't go in the office. There's the bulletproof thing. There's all the little, pass your card through the little slot. I get there and then I finally get my key and I get up to the room and it's just like, it's like tan carpet. There's stains all over it. Like it just smells like, I'm pretty sure it was slightly haunted. And I'm just like, this is sketchy, but I get like it's like 2 a.m. So I'm like, I get like 3 hours of sleep right now. I'm on the road. Hour later, there's like people screaming at each other in the parking lot. Like I took the dresser and I moved it against the door. And like I carry when I'm on the road. And that was right next to me in case, but I was like, this is the worst spot. Motel 6 in Vegas, that one sucks too. Because if you go to that Motel 6 in Vegas that's close to the strip, it is sketchy. That was the last time I'm like I'll stay in Motel 6s pretty much everywhere except like I'm done staying in Motel 6s in big cities because that's a different experience. I just remember walking and just being like, I'm gonna get jumped. Like this is everything about here is just sketchy. So gotta puff up your shoulders. Don't look like you're scared when you're like, I'm terrified. And that's when I just wish I had the power of a grizzly bear to get in here.
Yeah. Oh, the Grizzlies. I don't know what they did to you in a past life, but
I like to believe I was a grizzly. I was a grizzly that learned how to ride horses. I had a long grizzly mane like a lion, and it would flow.
Still got the mane
in the wind. Yeah, that's still. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a mullet right now, but I'm glad that my barber told me, hey, thanks for letting me practice on your long hair. I really don't do long hair that often. Right when I was finished. But,
yeah.
I think it's been good. And now Wolf kind of has a mullet, so we just look kind of delightfully white trash together, which, that's my style.
What a sick name for your son, too.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, son. I didn't want to think of anything like a real name, but... There you go.
Carly was down for it? Or do you have to do some convincing?
Well, we had Jax picked out, and then I had a nephew named Jackson. So it's like, oh gosh. And then I was still gonna do it. I was like, whatever, Kaylee. I'm still naming my kid Jax. That was pretty much the name for the first 30 minutes. Told the family. And then when I was holding him for the first time, it just kind of hit me where it's like, yeah, this is Wolf. Like Carly had mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, if you're there, like, yeah, that's it. So my last name to get a name that actually flows with it, like Wolf Widdison it's a pretty good one. And then I threw my name is the middle one, so I just mess up the flow completely. But yeah, so it was cool. But I think that's a good name because I named him that because I think this world's gonna be tougher than what I grew up in. I want him to be strong. I want him to have something that he knows. He's gonna have the strength to overcome, whatever's coming at him. I mean, the stuff our kids are gonna have to deal with versus what we dealt with it's just a completely different day and age. And so
yeah, the way people even bully nowadays, it's like they just go online and then AIs. Have you heard about like sextortion and stuff now with AI?
Oh, yeah.
Or even just like Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. I was just telling my wife our girls have phones, and I was like, we need to block the camera on their phones so they can't even use the camera.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, you can do that, and I was like, oh, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
teenage
No.
girls don't need to have cameras.
No, I think we should do that social media ban here too. That what Australia's doing, like anybody under 16, no social media. Because I can tell it's not good on me. Like when I was in Brazil for 5 days, I didn't have service outside of the hotel. I wasn't on my phone. Like I was in the moment and I was just like living life. And then it's sad because as soon as I got back to the States, I'm literally just like, right back to it. So if you have that when you're that young, because I think the first smartphone I got I was 22. Like I was almost at that 25 where you're fully mentally developed. I probably missed the mark on that one. um, but I think that's a big thing is just like we grew up without it. And I mean, everybody shared experiences. Like everybody went and saw Lord of the Rings. Everybody, like that Monday you go back to school, everybody's talking about Lord of the Rings. Like everybody had this. And now it's like, hey, do you follow a YouTuber like Zigzag Zorpian? And I'm like, I had no idea. Like you would really love it. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. But I listened to the same stupid like 1990s and 2000s radio shows because I'm like, I is there any like I'm just losing faith in humanity that we're gonna have like any more great um like shared media experiences. Like I don't watch Stranger Things, but I'm like, that's cool that kids have something that they're like watching and they're all stoked on. Same with Minecraft movie. It's like never played Minecraft, don't know, but then you see kids going crazy in theaters and you're like, I'm glad they've got something like that because Lord of the Rings came out and there's many reasons that I didn't have to worry about talking to girls in high school. Lord of the Rings was one of them. Like I love Lord of the Rings. I swear, oh dude, Lord of the Rings is so good. Like it's just welcome to the Lord of the Rings podcast. We're erasing everything and now it's all Lord of the Rings. Matt, thanks for your podcast studio. How's your day with Gollum?
I fell asleep watching The Hobbit.
I'm out. See ya. I'm crashing out. Well, okay.
He did my buddy took me to the midnight showing to watch a 3-hour movie.
All right, and I'll give it to you on The Hobbit though, because that was not. It was good, but it was not Frodo and the gang. Like
Yeah,
Fellowship and Two Towers and Return of the King.
The Twin Towers.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's
or the Two Towers. Sorry, that's a different.
Twin Towers. There's
that's a different twist.
A little different lore on that one, but the Two Towers was. Yeah. Oh man, those ants that are coming in and the Oliphants and just yeah, man, it was something magical. And you see it with your dad. And it was like that's what was really cool is like sharing that experience. And for me, I'm hoping there's something like that with my son and I, but like every time I'm in the forest and I put on like Lord of the Rings soundtrack, it takes me back to like me and my dad in the woods or like driving back from McCall on Highway 55, I remember he'd have that CD and I would just like listen to that and like stare at the forest and like just see all the trees and it's just, I mean, it's just special. Like it was something that, the lesson of there's going to be things in life that are going to scare you and you might be the only person that can pull it off. And you really just kind of got to go and it's going to be hard and you're going to get beat down and you're going to bleed and you're going to hurt and everything is not going to go your way. And that's where I really love like that story. And I mean, even like I've been watching just Dragon Ball Z clips, a lot of Dragon Ball, like too many Dragon Ball Z clips, a lot of Vegeta ones because he's always like coming from second place. Like no matter what, his pride is beating him down, but he's always driving to keep up with Goku. And it's like I think that's a good one because if you don't have that level of success somebody else has and you're just going to sit there and be a little hater about it and like, oh man, why would he like because he outworked you. That's why. This person absolutely outworked you. And there's not a lot of people that I know who have outworked me. There's a few that without a doubt completely outworked me night and day. But the other thing is you see that they did it. And yeah, it's different. It's gonna be a different route, but it just shows like it's possible. And maybe you need to up your game and level yourself up to be able to like tackle some of these things you want to go after. So that's why I just Lord of the Rings and Dragon Ball Z, dude. That's it. That's the key to life, I think. Is just those stories and that hero's quest. Because everybody should be the hero of their own story. I believe that 100%. I think I'm a weird NPC in a lot of people's lives where, I've talked to a lot of people and um, it's fun to share time and share stories, but my like best friends that I keep up with, I don't get to see them that often, but we're all chasing something big. And no matter what happens, whenever we link up, it's like no time has passed because we all know we've been working like hard, and they're not the friends that are going to be like, "Oh, your life sounds so hard, give up." It's like, "Shut up, dude. Like, why are you complaining? Like, just keep figuring stuff out." And that's like back to Lord of the Rings, like Frodo and the gang. Like I think you need people around you that are going to push you. And if you can tell you're like slacking and people aren't like, "Oh, you're good, like you've hit that," it's not a good thing. Like it's nice to be supported, but I really appreciate the friends that are like the most brutal with me. I mean, because that's how nobody could tell me anything worse than what I've told myself. Like my self-talk, it's getting better, but it's horrible because it's like it's how I feel I need to like beat myself into getting to the next level. But now it's like, "Oh, you're doing good, but like don't be an idiot." Like you have a strong tendency to be an idiot. Very strong tendency to be an idiot. But um yeah, I think you need to surround yourself with people because if you're going to go up like with an with a very large task, it's going to be easier if you have a team. It's going to be easier to like accomplish these things if you have um people that are on your side and ready to go, you know?
Was it like go if you want to go if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go as a team or something like that?
Yeah. And I believe that. I mean, and I think it served me well for a lot of years is just being able to like I'd get a call like company ABC is having these issues, and then I can just go fix it, and then I can come back. But like even like the track side, I could go sell everything, but I still need a good team to build, and not just to build something. It has to be quality because if I go and I tell you it's going to be quality, it's going to be quality, or else I'm a liar. And if you're a liar and in sales, like it's better to be completely honest instead of try to just get the deal done and then I don't care. Because if you want to have a long term like reputation, and nowadays you can't just, I couldn't just build a company on this side of the country, mess up, go to the other side of the country, and people aren't going to be able to like literally Google all the jobs I just did over on the West Coast that have failed. So that's it. But yeah, I think for me right now in this phase, like I'm trying to just surround myself with as many people that, like I want to be the weakest in the room because if I'm doing the best in a room, that's not great. Like it's like I'm like strong tendency to be an idiot sometimes, and I can hit a level of content very easy. Like if like as soon as I get to the mountains, like I'm just free. Like I go by myself because it's a pain in the butt to go. If you're gonna go ride bogus, yeah, it's close, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be an hour and a half in the car. I mean, you're investing time, you're investing money, and but the second I get up there and I'm like by myself, like everything just melts away. So that for me is kind of gonna be my only alone time for the next little bit. But I think with work, like I want to be surrounded by people that are pushing and growing and really doing their best. I mean, even you can mess up, but even if you're trying, like that's going to be way better than somebody that just refuses to try. Like People that are complaining and they're not trying. That is one of the most irritating things to me. And I mean, I've been called out on it. I've got those big bros that, like, if I ask them something and they think I'm being a little bit of a baby, they're gonna tell me I'm being a little bit of a baby. And that's what is really valuable, is being able to take, some constructive criticism. And you know, nobody can say anything worse than what I've said to myself. Like, easy. But yeah.
I think a lot of people are afraid of failure too, so they don't even want to try.
No, and it gets easy. Trust me. Failing gets really easy. I mean, failing is so easy to do. It is, and then you get over it. Like, the thing that really sucked with with Radbots is that I kind of put a lot out there, and then I just didn't pull it off. And so when I went into Fraud Crush, I was like, I'm just gonna do this. Like, I try. This is the most talking I've done on anything ever, and I'm already sick of hearing me talk. But I'm like, if I say grizzly bear one more time,
say what?
Grizzly bear.
Oh, okay.
Grizzly bear. But yeah, no, I think Fraud Crush was kind of like, man, my ego was hurt. I'd messed up, and I did it in a grand display of just like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Lose my source of income. And then I went back to college, and that's a big, like, maybe I probably, who knows? Like, once Wolf showed up, there's no doubt. Like, I think if I would have succeeded there, I think Carly and I would have been together and all that. But then you start thinking about the butterfly effect of, I wouldn't change a single thing because this kid is here now. And this is like, no matter what I ever do in my life, I'm never going to be more proud of what I've done with Wolf. And he's only 14 months now, and I'm setting you up, buddy. I believe in you. But yeah, that was like the first thing that really, like, I was a ski bum entrepreneur for 8 years. I got to go do all this stuff. I got to travel. I got to have fun. Got to snowboard a bunch of cool spots. Got to bike a ton. And I don't have the same fulfillment, nearly as much fulfillment as when I'm just playing with my kid. That's it. I mean, I don't think, like, people that are thinking about not having kids, like, you're not going to miss something you don't have. So there's probably there's a timeline where I never had kids and whatever, but this timeline, I'm really glad I made that, because I kind of need some bigger things than just like, I need to make money and, then I can buy a new snowboard and then I can go ride. Now it's like, oh, like, I can take my kid to, like, I want to take him on these mountains that I've been plotting on my whole life. And then what's going to be funny is that he's not going to be like super grateful because he's not going to have that same work. But I'm like, I do want to take him to Japan to, like, ski Mount Fiji. And, like, I want to go ski the Andes in Chile. And, like, I want to go over to, like, the Alps. Like, those are the 3 bucket list trips. And if I could have my kid out there with me riding proficiently, because I'm not going to take you if you can only do blue squares at the time. Like, I love you, buddy, but we're going to, like, you and mom might have to, like, sit at the hotel. But I think that would be just phenomenal to do that. But yeah, I think that's where, Lord of the Ring comes back in. Lord of the Rings, excuse me. I'm stepping all over myself now.
Oh, there's more than one ring?
Yeah, several. Well, if you want to get into it, there are the 9 rings. The leaders of man got some. The elves got, I think, 3, and then, was it 5? And those are the ring wraiths. So they were all corrupted by Sauron's power that he put into the ring. But then, yeah, Sauron had the one ring in the battle where he gets his finger cut off by. I'm glad I don't have that king's name. But yeah, once that finger got cut off and Sauron lost his power, and the only complaint I have is there weren't enough grizzly bears in that one. Grizzly USA.
Your parents wouldn't let you watch Mission Impossible, but you were all okay with.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Mission Impossible, there's definitely like there is nothing sexy about Lord of the Rings, but then
Oh, it's like,
MI2, you're like, oh, I love that girl, and you're like, when
oh,
I
I
was
was
like
thinking it was like
10
the
or 11.
violence part of it. I was like,
Oh no, dude, violence, violence is that. I mean, that's the culture though too, but like bikinis, no, and then like MI2, like. Oh, I hate to say how much MI2 influenced my entire life, but that is just like I think that is peak amazing. Like Limp Bizkit does the theme song, like
I
and
seen you're a big Limp Bizkit guy on your thing you shared the
dude,
other
I
day for
love Limp
Spotify.
Bizkit. Well, and I was like listening to him in like third grade, and then it's funny because there's like that phase where it's like, oh yeah, this is all toxic, but it's like, dude, you like what you like. I mean, dude, I swear, how can you not like Limp Bizkit? I mean, especially okay, so take it back to
Woodstock '99.
yeah, well, Woodstock. I think that festival had a lot of
I
issues.
watched that Netflix
Yeah,
documentary. That was nuts.
crazy. Yeah, like let's just trap everybody on like hot concrete, charge everybody $12 for a water. Because when I was that age, that I would have like been going to those festivals, I can't pay that. I can't even $12 for a water. Now I'm gonna be like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna eat tomorrow. But
Yeah.
yeah, just everything got torn up. But yeah, dude, Limp Bizkit. I mean, when you're a kid and you're like, you hear there's a song with like 48 F words or whatever hot dog has in it, you're like,
Yeah.
no way, dude. Like I have to listen to it. So it's like legendary because there's no social media. It's all this, it's just like this hearsay of like this song that has so many bad words. Like you literally think if your mom were to hear it, she would like melt. Like just absolutely just like this is the worst thing ever. And that's what's cool when you're a kid is like, what does my mom hate the most? Like Mortal Kombat and swear words. So I
Sick.
love Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that's all that stuff is just way sick.
I remember going to Mortal Kombat at the movie theater with my brother, and we would like be doing all the dance and or like fight moves down front. You know, there's that big spot like right in front of
Oh
the front
yeah.
row. We're just like,
Yeah.
people are like, "What is these freaking kids doing?" Mortal Kombat.
Dude, that techno
That
intro, like you
yeah,
just
the snake that comes out of that dude's hand
oh
in the
Scorpion. Oh
woods. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, dude, Scorpion versus Johnny Cage. Yeah, that is a great thing. And then he pulls the mask off, he does that fatality.
Mm.
Like I'm honestly surprised. I think it's like back left X or something. Whatever. I got it wrong, but yeah, Mortal Kombat, because that was like in pizza shops all the time too. So Pizza Hut, Domino's, and then my dad, probably not the best thing to tell a kid. He's like, just if you're gonna play those, don't let your mom find out. And I just applied that to everything in my life. So
Yeah.
not, I'll have to adjust the verbiage, but when I tell it to Wolf, but like. Yeah, my mom hated Mortal Kombat, so it just made me love it even more. And I remember I borrowed the SNES, like MK2 from a neighbor. And she, as soon as she saw what it was, she like marched me right back to that house and was like, do not let him borrow this and all this. And I'm just like sitting there, like, "Oh, sorry." Like, and I go over, like, hey,
And you were the oldest kid, right? You have other
yeah, yeah.
siblings, but
I've got 5 younger siblings. So I'm supposed to be like the easy, like,
yeah.
well, I feel like once I was like 12 or 13, I was fairly free range. Like I would have a skateboard and I could just go do whatever as long as I didn't get in trouble and it didn't come back to my parents, like everything was fine. But yeah, you just like go skate with friends, just go hang out. Like I had like a sang at home with my buddies that are twins and Becky was like my second mom and I'll just go over it and spend like hours. Like there was a point where I'll just like just stay over there, like where I don't even like ask my parents. And I'm just like, they kind of know what I'm doing. But my mom was like, from like 12, 10 or 12, I think she was like either like pregnant or like it would have been, I didn't know this, but at the time it'd be pregnant or postpartum because I think she had every like basically averaged out every 3 years. There was another sibling popping up and they're all girls. So it's like, you're the oldest son, like you need to be like taking care of yourself. And I'm really grateful for it. But yeah, my little sister's really shaped how I am as like a man. And if I'm not perfect, but like, how I treat women is like how would I want my little sisters to be treated? And without that, I'd probably be like, I don't know, but I gotta grow up being kind of like the parents pit bull and like they can be sweet. And I remember there was one kid, I didn't like him, and they didn't work out. So brother smart, but I remember I had the fear of God in him. I remember one day I was pulling up, I saw him out like saying goodbye to my little sister, give my mom a hug. As soon as they walked in, he turned around, saw my truck pulling up, and I like obviously I hit the gas pedal a little bit. That dude sprinted to his car, jumped in like Dukes of Hazard, and like took off as fast as he could. And that's what I really wanted to instill is like, if you're going to date one of my sisters, you're going to treat them with respect, and we're gonna be happy. And at that point, I was still, I think 16, 17. I was just, no, oh, I was older than that. So I was probably 20. But yeah, I was from 19 to 23, 24. I was probably like the meanest version of myself. I was an angry little early 20 person with all my problems. But yeah, I was just angry. And that's where bodybuilding and all that stuff really came in.
Good outlet.
Construction, like, yeah, you can't be angry if you're too tired. Like, but we'd go to the Boise venue and just like, I'm like 19, we're like trying to pick fights with like people in there. Like, I don't know. It was fun. But I'm sure I've had a couple of concussions from getting my head hit a couple times. And but yeah, man.
Character builders.
Oh yeah. Dude, we had one of my buddies got clocked so hard. He went to the bathroom and we're driving home. And he goes, "Hey man, when's the show start?" "I think you're concussed." "But we're too stupid now." It's like, "All right, have a good night. Go to sleep."
Have a good.
Yeah.
Don't wake up with a stutter.
Yeah. Hey man, it's in hindsight, there might have been some damage done on that one, but oops.
Now look at you. Just talk about Grizzlies.
I know, yeah. I am obviously the twist of that story is I'm the one that got kicked. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, there's no other buddies. I was just seeing stuff.
Yeah, I've literally there's no one in this studio. Matt doesn't even exist. Like I've just been sitting here with an empty chair, and I'm in some stranger's house. So the cops should be here shortly.
I wanted to touch on sales though, because I'm obviously getting into like the sales world and stuff. But what's your best tips for like someone getting into sales and to get better?
So it starts with the product. You have to have a quality product. You have to believe in the product, and it needs to be a win-win for you and the client. Obviously, you're going to make some money, but you also like you don't want to sell crap. That's the biggest thing I can always say. I sold cell phones out of a kiosk, and I was selling AT&T with a Verizon phone in my pocket. I couldn't sell them because when it's like, "How's this network?" "Great." It's not great. Back then, it was really not great. It was like back in the iPhone 4 days, so like a long time ago now. But I think you really need to believe what you're selling because whatever product you're selling, that's a representative of you. If you sell some garbage, people are gonna think you're garbage. I had a buddy that sold me the truck I wanted, and then was like, "Hey man, oh this they can't do this, and they need you to bring it back." At that point, I didn't know. I could have just been like, "No, we already signed the deal." Like I'm 22. And then I ended up getting put in this, like, I got a little Dodge truck that I never liked. And it really, like, this dude was like my, like, training partner, but it really kind of burned me a little bit that it's like, dude, did you kind of hose me on this one to get a deal done? Like, our relationship wasn't valuable enough to, like, just take the hit at work and to just deal with it. Like, I would have done that. Like, if it was, so I always reflect on that. Like, I'm not going to sell somebody a Honda when they really want a Toyota. Like, if they're saying, "I want this product," even if the product's better, it's going to work out for them better. There's a chance that no matter how good that product is, they're going to sit there and be like, "Well, I always wanted this. And this guy talked me out of what I really wanted." So are they going to come back to you and buy more stuff? No, they're not, because you messed up. So like sales is just repetitions too. Like that's the big thing. You can grow any company. I mean, nothing happens until something gets sold. That's the motto. You really, like, I've got that hanging in every office I've ever worked at. Like, you have to have something to sell, and then it has to get sold, and then the work starts. Then the operations start. But it's just repetition. So it's like when I built the tracks up, I would go and I would download. I would say, "Here's the state I want to be in." I would go through, I'd break every state down by district, And then I'd break every district down by school. And then I would call every single one of them. And, your success rate on cold calls, if you can get a hold of 25% of people, that's cool. If you can schedule, I mean, if you could schedule 5 to 10% of everybody you cold call, you're going to make a lot of money. But like back to the failing point and back to like getting rejected, are you going to be able to tolerate being rejected? Because in sales, you're going to get rejected a lot. And fortunately, like my background and like just being comfortable with failing and just, sometimes you just get beat down and life is rough. Like, it doesn't really hurt when I can't book an appointment or I can't do this. Like most people, if you approach them how I think you should, like a human, and not just like, whenever I cold call, it'll be like, hey, is this Matt? Like, and then I go, hey, this is Ryan from so and so. I just want to know, I know you're busy. Can I take 30 seconds of your time to see if you want to talk to me some more? And then I'll give them a 30-second pitch. If it sounds like something, I book something or we keep talking. But really, like people, like we have so much spam coming through that I don't like auto emails. I don't like I think picking up the phone and talking to somebody or even writing a handwritten letter goes to show that you're willing to go above and beyond. And that was a good thing BBCom like really taught us was we need to make sure that the customer's first, because without the customer, what are we? We're nothing. If we're not taking care of customers, it's done. So I think I think there's a lot of like dirtbag salesmen out there. And I think it's kind of up to the salesman how they want to do it. But I would have made a lot more money if I could justify selling garbage and make like Jordan Belfort is. I love the sales tactics. Like Wolf of Wall Street is a great movie. His Way of the Wolf book is amazing. But how he started was a sleazebag salesman, selling those penny stocks. I mean, making a ton of money, but everybody he sold to is getting burnt, and that's why he spends a little bit of time away. So all his new stuff is like he knows how to sell, but he's also applying it to like doing it ethically and doing that. But I mean, you still made a bunch of money. I mean, had to learn, but that's people's growth and that's people's arc. But I think for me, like I'll just try to avoid like selling anything that's not great to sell.
You got to really believe in the product that you're selling.
Yeah, I think that's your long term life and your long term success, and like that's. I mean, you can go real big with things, but I think the stupid moral compass that I have it's probably costing me a lot of money, but I can sleep at night. I mean, fairly right now. It's been not a lot of sleep, but
yeah, Alex Ramosi says that too. He's like, when you're selling something, you need to have so much conviction in it. You're like a born again Christian, or like those people that have found a new religion. They're just like, I'm telling you, dude, you gotta try this, right? And so it's like you gotta have that same conviction when you're trying to sell something.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to be excited. I mean, even with your personal training stuff,
Yeah.
like if you have doubts in something, like it's going to come across in how you're selling. Like you can't doubt. Like you have to like for to be like a true salesman where you're not you're kind of taking the entrepreneur side out of it and you're just doing the sales side of it. Like yeah, you have to be excited because who's going to be excited about I mean, closing deals and getting commissions is cool, but if you're, taking advantage of people, it's not going to work. So, having a product that you can sell that you feel good about at the end of the day, I think that's going to be a key for a lot of people. Like salesmen do have like there are like some negative connotations. Like there's some negative stereotypes about salesmen and you steer clear of those. I mean, but like, I'd never be able to sell used cars. I'd never be able to sell something I don't like. I mean, I tried it with the cell phones. But even when I was doing the tracks, like I knew if I went to a community and they trusted me to build this track, I was going to build it and it was going to be spot on quality. It was going to be on par with all the big guys. Like we were going to do this. We were like, this community was trusting us to do something that, the tracks were not cheap and to to give the community what they asked for and to make it something special. Like that's what I really liked about that is, I can go look at probably 30 facilities in, within like a 300 range, and I know they're all going to be good. So that's the thing. Yeah, you gotta love what you're doing. Sales can suck. I mean, so having an off week or an off month with sales it's drowning. It hurts. Like, but then you have to like kind of check yourself, get prepared, and then go hard the next month. And then, but yeah, it's I've had some good months. I've had some great months. I've had some lean years, but that was right before I got sponsored by Grizzly.com. Actually, I don't know if that's a real website. I'm sure that is a website.
Yeah.
It's no affiliation. This one is, their internet is based on a series of trees near the Golcana River, right where the Valdez, Copper River, they come together. So that's a deep cut if you like Alaska. But
Yeah, dude, it's been cool. Just talking to you because I've learned so much just about sales since I've started this whole venture this year. Like going from working in a prison to now, I do believe in the product though. I believe in fitness for people and it's changed lives. So at least I have that conviction side of it. The other part that I have a problem with is like the objection side because I'm like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you all the good stuff, but then you tell me the bad stuff or that you're not ready or whatever, and I'm like,
well,
I wasn't expecting this part.
What are your objections you're getting?
I get better at that now, but at first when it was always like the spouse objection, like I need to talk to my spouse or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's good. They never do. They never ever have to. But yeah, that's a big one. It's a tough
Spouse
one.
is usually the one or the money one. Those are like your two.
Yeah, the money.
Like I don't have the money right now, but the thing that I've found with a lot of people is whatever the price is that I'm going to be asking for, you're going to be spending that money over the next 6 months that we'd be working together anyway. So are you going to be spending that money on something that's going to get you closer to your goals or further away? Because either way, the money's getting spent. So.
Well, and a daily coffee is going to be what, $5 nowadays to get a latte, or it's going to be
or eating lunch.
Yeah, it's
out,
helping find where by implementing these and making these changes, that's where you're going to be able to save money here and then be able to use that there.
And also off-putting, like showing how much value this is worth and not just the cost.
Yeah.
Like how much future cast, like what opportunities are you missing out on because you're not in shape?
Yeah.
Or how much is this costing you, not even monetarily, but like, opportunity-wise, you're not going to want to go out and do stuff with your kids now because you're overweight and you're out of breath after you run a flight of stairs or, it's more of like...
No, and that's probably the best one is, when you really break it down to like, your kids need you to do this. And a lot of times it's true. Like if you've, especially 4 or 5 times, like you've tried it on your own, like that's where, like I went 10 years without doing a show. And then finally I've just like, I got Big John as my coach, and I'm just like, okay, like I just like Carly has worked there forever. Like they have and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna give this all over because I can't do this myself. I keep going and getting too many burritos, donuts, all that, and it's just like I just need to relinquish all control over this and then do that. But yeah, I'd failed I can't tell you how many times I've been like, man, maybe this fall is the time. And this year was the first year that kind of like was just everything lined up perfectly. And I needed to get some external help. And I think that was key.
Was it mainly because your sister wanted to do a show, so it made you kind of want to do one then? Or?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to do it. I'm still shocked. But yeah, just like, I'll do a ton of stuff for my family. And she was interested in that. And I was just like, all right, if you want to do it, I'll do one with you. So I had to cut like 35 pounds. I started back in February doing the cut. But yeah, it was just like, there was a lot of times where I was just sitting there and I was like in pain because I know I had to prep a lot harder than she did. And I was just like, man, I almost want her to text me and be like, we can do next year or something. And then that text never came. I'm like, come on, I'm ready to bail. But it never happened. And then, we're on stage and she almost won overall. And it's just like, had I been a baby, like, And granted, had she texted me that, I probably would have been like, no, we're not, like, we're going forward. But the thought of like missing that moment and seeing her like just on like she's won her class, and that's something I've never done. And I'm just like, the first time out, like I'm so like proud. Like I really just wanted to take one of the metal chairs and throw it across the floor. But then I'm like, okay, it's probably not good, but like I was screaming. Like it was awesome to see, and it was so worth it. But yeah, it was brutal. It was a brutal 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
you looked pretty rough around September.
oh yeah, no, well, we were talking about doing this, and then it's like, dude, my brain just doesn't work. You go into prep and you lose 85% of your personality. Like your brain doesn't function how it should. Like it really, you go that deep where it's like, am I dying right now, or am I like we're going? But yeah, it was way fun. But yeah, every time that gray sweater was on, there's nothing going on besides eat this, stairmaster this, lift this, and then go home and work. And that's it. I mean, it's simple life, but that's the key for me, is just keeping it easy.
So what's next for you this year? You're going for it again then, right? You're going for that pro card?
Yeah, I mean, in the pro card's one thing. I've got some work goals that are probably gonna be number one. But really, yeah, I've got a few work goals that are pretty high priority. I want to be a good dad, husband, and then I need to win an overall. I'd like to win my pro card in the open. I mean, it's physique. It's gonna be extremely difficult to do that, but it's like I feel like that's at this point in my life, this is where I can make one last big push. And then to get my pro card, I would never step on stage again. That would be it. I would be done. I would be absolutely done. Like I I love competing. It's fun, but I also get similar amounts of dopamine when I go ride. So it's like if I could put a little bow on this little uh you know competition experiment, and I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I think I got maybe 3 or 4 shows left, and after that, it'll probably just go back to riding. But I think the discipline that contest takes translates into the discipline that you have for everything. So when I'm like not on my diet, I don't think I'm as good as work. I don't think I'm as good at work as I should be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we're approaching the end game. That's that's what it is. But yeah, I think work. I'm just gonna sell stuff for the next 20 years, and then I'm gonna disappear
Get your
into a
cabin.
That's it. Yeah, that's all. And I mean, I want to get the property pretty soon, and yeah, I want to cut trees down and want to build that thing, and I want to have that for my grandkids. So and that's stuff that I didn't really think about in the Peter Pan years, is like your legacy and how you want to really be remembered, because it doesn't matter like what most people think, but like I do when it comes to family. Like my dad, my grandpa's, like my grandma's, like when I lost my grandma, I was crushed, and it's messed up. But I want my grandkids to feel that way about me. Like I want to be so loved that your 24-year-old bodybuilder grandson is bawling like a little bit. My grandpa made a joke about how much I cried at my grandma's funeral, but I loved my grandma so much, and she was like, at that time, she's probably the closest family member I had, and just I could do no wrong. I mean, I really like, you know, your grandparents get to look over a lot of your mistakes and just love you for you. Whereas your parents really want you to like be doing better, but grandma doesn't care. Grandma just wants you to be healthy and happy, and that that one was a rough one. So yeah, once you go through some stuff, you lose people. Like sales rejections are nothing, absolutely
Right.
nothing. But yeah,
That's cool. You're thinking about the generational though.
yeah.
That makes your goals change
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
and how much you want to work hard.
yeah, And I mean, I think 5-10 years, and then I'm taking the foot completely off the gas. Like I think 5-year chunks are how you should kind of look at your life. And
Different
then,
seasons.
yeah. So by the time, I would like the option to disappear at 50 if I can. That's what I'm looking for. I don't think I ever will. I don't think I'll ever not want to work or do something like that, because I think it keeps you young. I think it keeps you engaged. But being able to disappear without, like, not aliens or being eaten by a grizzly in the forest, just to sum that up.
And we're back.
Yes, we are back. I was doing so good without grizzly references. But yeah, no, I think that is just the thought of just completely deleting everything and then just living in a very small town where there's 50 people. My nearest neighbor is like a couple miles away. Like, that to me sounds amazing. Be able to walk out my door, grab my bike, go ride trails in the winter, being able to like take a snowmobile to the nearest ski resort. Like, that to me is the just, that is the goal right now. Like, just to be able to always be in the forest. Like that, I could literally give up everything and probably do that right now if they're like, you're gonna have X amount of money, here's your spot, like you can call it a day. I mean, I'll probably go a little crazy. It's like Thanos when he does the snap in Endgame where he's Thanos in the garden. Like, that's kind of how I felt. But I was like, I haven't accomplished everything, but I literally built a garden and like just sitting and just enjoying your time.
Now you just got to take out half the population and you're good.
Yeah, I was like, I'll probably skip that portion. I can't, I've got one infinity stone, but I'm really having some trouble. And also, I tried to fly, but I just keep falling off my garage. But one of these days, I'm gonna get...
No infinity stone.
Yeah. So stick around. I put one in your drink.
Sick.
Grizzly style.
All right, dude. Well,
yeah, thanks for having me on,
thanks
man.
for coming on, dude. Thanks for coming in the studio.
None of that is usable.
The Beat Laboratory.